My 32 female, sister-in-law 43, is super nosy. It's come up before, but she'll deny something to the death, no matter how much proof you have, and then get angry at you for not believing her. In my house, the guest bathroom is partially shared with the master bedroom. The toilet and sink are separate for guests, and then through a door you can get to the shower, our closets, and another sink. Then through an additional door is the bedroom, if that makes any sense. So basically you can get into our bedroom through the bathroom without going through the main door. So when she came over, she sometimes just took a bit too long in the bathroom. During maybe the third or fourth time, I happened to be walking by the bathroom and heard 2 doors close. I asked her if she was looking for something in the bedroom and if I could help her find it. She replied, "No, why would I go into your bedroom?" and then changed the subject. The next time she was going to come over, I set something small behind the bedroom door so I could see if it had been opened by the small item being pushed back. Later, I could see that it had been. So for me, confirming that she had been snooping again. I asked her if she'd been in our bedroom and she said something like, "I don't care what's in your bedroom, get over yourself." So yesterday, sister-in-law and brother-in-law came over, but before that, I ordered a full-size cutout of Dwayne Johnson, which I placed in our bedroom, facing the bathroom door. About an hour into the visit, she heads into the bathroom. Very shortly after, there's a scream, a thud, and a door slam. She came out clearly angry. She'd been quite startled and slammed her upper arm into the door frame while turning away from the cutout. Brother-in-law made it worse by asking, "Well, why were you in their bedroom?" But she didn't answer and they left. She's posted on Facebook that she has this big bruise on her arm due to my nasty prank. People are saying she could have been hurt worse and that she's too old to be the victim of a childish prank. I feel bad that she was hurt. It wasn't my intention, but I might be the idiot because I still think it was hilarious. Not the idiot. It was hilarious. Hey, you two had break-ins into your bedroom, so you got The Rock to provide security. He caught the offender, the ends of the problem. And I'm just petty enough to reply to her post. "I'm so sorry that you were hurt and startled unintentionally. I didn't think to warn you about the cutout as I had it stored in my bedroom." Then let her friends put the pieces together. That's absolutely hilarious. She was invading your privacy and hopefully you taught her a lesson. Did you ever find out why she was going in there? Was she snooping? Looking for something specific? Glad brother-in-law asked why she was in your bedroom in the first place. Of course, a little extra embarrassment can't hurt. I would have just played dumb. Just stare at them completely deadpan and say, "I was not playing any prank. I just had a cardboard cutout in my room." And anytime anyone brings it up, just completely deny it was ever meant to be a prank. After all, you weren't expecting anyone else to be in your room. So how could this be some kind of setup? Anyway, I love it. She was being childish. She couldn't complain. And since Halloween stuff is starting in the stores, now's the perfect time to purchase a motion-activated witch that'll cackle the next time. Maybe buy a door that locks from your bedroom side so that she can't snoop. It's disrespectful and bad behavior for a guest. She was snooping and lying, and now has hopefully learned her lesson. But also, info. Why do you keep letting this person into your house? What does your SO think? My husband is close to his brother, so that's why she keeps coming over. And it doesn't seem like she's done anything other than poke around. So he just has the "that's how she is" attitude and thinks it's weird but harmless. Find out exactly what she's up to. It may be harmless but rude, or it may not be. Do you keep your birth control in there? Obviously, some people are just nosy and obnoxious. It's bold to try to sneak into someone's bedroom. Too bad you don't have a snapshot camera set up. It would have been priceless to see her face at that moment. And just to be petty, you could have printed the picture and gifted it as a holiday present, because nosy people deserve to have their BS exposed. I rent out the spare bedroom in my house for $800 a month, market rate in my area. I don't know my roommate well, but we work for the same company. I work early mornings and she works late evenings, so we're often ships passing in the night. On Friday, my water heater broke. The home warranty guys said they couldn't get anyone out until Monday morning. It's hot as heck right now, so I wasn't too upset. A few cold showers won't kill anyone, so I texted my tenant. Hot water's out until Monday. And she responded, thumbs up. I didn't see her all weekend, which is normal, as I said. The guy got here at 8 a.m. to fix the heater. When he was done, I texted her to let her know the hot water was back on. She hits me with this gem. My hotel bill was $250. Do you want to reimburse me or deduct it from next month's rent? I stared at the text for a good while. I didn't even know she was gone. She got a hotel room just for hot water? That's so extra. She could have showered at work, but she got a hotel room. I texted, hey, I didn't know you left. Rent is still due in full on the 1st of the month, regardless if you choose to sleep elsewhere for a weekend. She texted me back, there was no water, I couldn't stay there. You're my landlord and have to provide me with livable accommodations. I texted back, there was water, just not hot. If it was winter, you might have a point. The rent is still due in full. Failure to pay rent will result in me filing with the court, which will impact your credit. She stopped responding. I texted a friend who said I was way too harsh and should have just countered with a $50 discount for those 2 days or something. Sure, if she'd asked for a $50 reduction, that would have been reasonable. But I'm not paying for her hotel, and her audacity to ask me makes me mad. But I know jumping to talking about filing 30 days was a bit dramatic. Was I the idiot? Not having hot water is what's called a habitability violation. In my state, the landlord would owe the tenant a discount in the form of prorated rent. In your case, that would come to $26.67 per day that the water heater was out of commission, assuming a 30-day month. Everyone's the idiot here. It would be best if you learned your responsibility as a landlord. She needs to talk to you before expecting reimbursement for a hotel. You both need to learn to communicate. Not the idiot. Water was available. Did she need to stay in a hotel to take a hot shower? If a cold shower bothered her that much, she could have used friends or gone to a gym. You don't owe her anything for that hotel. No one told her to get a $250 room. I would say you are the idiot all around for jumping straight to filing with a court as a punitive measure. It's completely uncalled for not offering any reimbursement, which would have been reasonable, but mostly because you give off serious, terrible landlord vibes, treating her as a cash cow, adhering strictly to the rules as a landlord, and not giving a real crap about her valid complaints about the lack of hot water. Everyone saying you are the idiot would be right if you didn't immediately take action to fix the issue. OP, you literally got it fixed as soon as possible. If the tenant had talked to you about the hotel, she would have a case, but she didn't. If something breaks, the landlord has to fix it. You did get it fixed, so you're in the clear. I, male 39, married my wife, 36, 4 months ago. I have a son named Elijah, teen. He and my wife have this tension that started right after she moved in with us. He complains about how she enters his room all the time and invades his privacy and touches his stuff, but my wife says she's just cleaning it for him. He also complains about being forced to eat what she cooks, but my wife says she's just trying to get him to step away from unhealthy fast food and snacks and get used to healthy homemade meals. The fighting became constant even before the wedding. Then at the wedding, he complains about being excluded from pictures and food he wanted to have, but my wife said she had nothing to do with it and that Elijah was looking for something to hold over her head. Now, since we're in the summer break and he has plenty of free time, I'd signed him up for a 2-week camping trip and paid for everything. He was supposed to go next week, but something happened a couple of days ago. It was my wife's birthday. As a gift, I created a painting for her and gave it to her during dinner. Elijah started laughing for no reason, which annoyed my wife. She told him he wasn't allowed to watch a movie later that night and sent him to his room. He wasn't happy. He threw a temper tantrum and said he didn't do anything to deserve a punishment. Then in the morning, my wife woke me up, yelling, saying that the painting I gave her was destroyed with car oil. She kept saying Elijah did it. I had him come out of his room, and he admitted that he ruined it to get back at her for punishing him the night before. I lost my temper with him and then punished him by canceling his trip and taking the money back. He threw another tantrum, saying he had to do it after she punished him for no reason, and that it wasn't fair since I promised, but I said it was final. He started crying and called his aunt as a way to pressure me into backing out of my decision, but I refused. So, am I the idiot? You are the idiot. Your son is still a child, and your wife competes with him. First, she has no business parenting him. That's your job, not hers. Second, if he doesn't want her in his private space, that's his right. She has no right to invade it for cleaning or whatever else. Third, are you seriously trying to convince us the bride had no say in the wedding pictures? Yeah, I was thinking, why is the wife going into the son's room to clean? He's a teen, and that's his private space, and he should be responsible for cleaning it. And to punish him for laughing? Yeah, it probably wasn't right to laugh, but we don't know what the picture looked like. The dude seriously needs to open his ears and listen to his son. I'd honestly think she destroyed it herself and blamed it on him if he hadn't owned up to it. You've taken her side repeatedly instead of believing him when he says she's crossing the line. You've only been married 4 months, and there are a lot of red flags from her. He's a teen. He doesn't need a stranger coming in and pushing him around or out of your life, and that's what seems to be happening. Look at everything objectively and wake up. She punishes him for laughing? I wonder what she does that you're not aware of. LOL. You are failing your kid, OP. You need to protect your son from your wife. She clearly has no respect for the kid, and that's on you for not nipping that in the bud. This isn't about a camping trip or a painting. It's about a father who's failed to protect his son from his new wife. My fiance and I both had a discussion and agreed that we don't want my nephew at our wedding, which will be happening in 2 months. My nephew's out of control. He doesn't listen, can't sit still for even a minute, and is loud. My nephew even ruined my dress. I'm a fashion designer and made my own wedding dress, and one day my sister came over uninvited with my nephew and niece. I invited them both in, but told them not to go into my office as I was working on something in there, my dress. My nephew went in and cut my dress with a pair of fabric scissors on purpose while I was in the kitchen getting them snacks, and my niece was playing with my daughter. My sister didn't even make him apologize and blamed it on me for leaving my scissors in the open in a room he wasn't even supposed to be in. There have been many times when my nephew was banned from events because of this behavior. My sister has a hard time even getting babysitters for him, and my nephew's even gotten suspended from school on multiple occasions. She still hasn't done anything about his behavior. When I told my sister, she freaked out, saying that if her son's not allowed to go, then she won't be going, and asked me if I was banning our brother's son as well. Then she made a Facebook post about how I hate my nephew and I'm not inviting him to my wedding over a dress, and complained to our mom. My mom agrees with my sister and says it's unfair for me to invite my niece but not my nephew, and that I'm going to make my nephew feel like there's something wrong with him. My brother agrees with me and thinks it'll make my sister think about actually doing something about her son's behavior rather than pretending there's nothing wrong. But I know how my nephew is, and I don't want his behavior to risk a day I worked so hard to plan. Am I the idiot here? Not the idiot. And given that your sister covered for your nephew, who was way too old to accidentally use scissors on other people's stuff, having her boycott and protest is fitting. Of course she can make her choice, raise an undisciplined child or not, but you, hopefully, only get one wedding, and you don't need a wild kid messing it up, nor do you need this drama. I think you should accept your sister's offer not to attend. If my nephew walked into my room and used a scissor on something important, in my case it would be my books, I'd throw him out the door and ban him and his parents from ever coming over again until the kid had been taught how to behave. Does your sister think he's the next baby Jesus? Why is she letting him run rampant? This child has serious behavioral problems and needs immediate and comprehensive intervention. Without the proper support and treatment, his whole life will be so challenging. This would be my hill to die on personally. This isn't just about your wedding day. This is about your nephew's health and well-being. Your sister's being neglectful by willfully ignoring the severity of his situation. She's his mother, she knows. She doesn't want to admit it. It's selfish. I am married to Ashley. Our girls from previous relationships are both nearly adults. My ex-wife was Sam. She and I were never a great couple, but we were great friends and great parents/co-parents, so we stayed very close after the divorce. I was aware she had started saving for our daughter's future education. We had reached somewhat of a compromise on how to handle that. I did most of the spending on her adolescent activities and extras, so all her extracurricular activities, hobbies, and for the most part, gifts that we shared, while she effectively saved for the future. I never knew how much was in the account until my ex died 2 years ago. It was then that I learned she had saved a hefty amount, and that aside from her funeral expenses, she had left money for our daughter to use as she saw fit outside of the college money. Ashley and I married 7 years ago, and at the time we had discussed money for the girls, etc. I explained that I wasn't saving, but my ex-wife was. She had not started anything for her daughter at that point, and her ex wasn't saving either. So we started to put a little by when we could, but we were never able to save huge chunks at a time. After Sam died, money became a much larger issue. Ashley was upset to learn my daughter had more than my stepdaughter for college and that she had money to spare. It only became a bigger deal this past May. My daughter told me that she had decided to attend community college in her mom's hometown so that she could be close to her grandparents for a while and still follow her dreams. Ashley then discussed how some of the money could go to my stepdaughter. I told her no, that it was not our money, and even if she tried to suggest that it would be mine, seeing as my daughter's a minor, I pointed out that it would be stealing to take it from her, and I had never contributed to that fund directly, and it would be taking my ex-wife's money. Ashley went off about Sam putting so much away when she knew our daughter had a stepsister and how she was selfish to make her so much better off than her only sibling. I told her she needed to get over that because Sam only had one child to think about, and it wasn't her job to think about my stepdaughter or any bio kids I could have had after our divorce. Ashley told me to think about my stepdaughter. I told her, my stepdaughter's not entitled to my daughter or my ex-wife's money, whichever way she wants to look at it. She asked how I could be so callous about her daughter's disadvantage. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Sam saved for her daughter, her only daughter, not for a stranger's kid who she had no responsibility for. Don't punish your daughter by taking away the college fund that her mother set up for her just because your wife doesn't know how to make good financial decisions for her kid. Maybe your wife should canvass the neighborhood and find out if anyone there has saved money for their kids to attend college so she can demand a share of that too. Your daughter lost her mother. That is her inheritance and college fund. So ask your wife if your stepdaughter had a sizable inheritance. Would she be expected to share it with her stepsister? That's your answer. Double standards. Wow. Just wow. Your wife is jealous that your ex-wife managed to ensure your daughter's future? She's bitter and jealous that she now appears to be a useless mother who can't even save money to ensure her own daughter's future. Her gaining access to that money is just plain theft and thievery. You may want to rethink your relationship with your current wife.